Sheffield United look set to sign 21-year-old striker Cameron Archer for a deal in the region of around £18 million from Aston Villa. The England under-21 star is set to complete his medical today, and the deal may be complete before the game against Manchester City this Sunday. Archer is most notable for his time at Middlesbrough, where he spent the second half of the 2022-23 season on loan. During his time there, he made 22 appearances, scored 11 goals and got 6 assists. And for those of you who remember, he starred up front against us in the 3-1 home loss during our push for promotion last season. And now just to talk about the positives of this transfer and just generally his strength as a player. He's a very good finisher, and if you think about that chance that Traore had against Forest in their last game, Archer definitely would have scored there and we would have ended up getting something from that game. Additionally, I'd say he's just the sort of player that we need, brings goals plus assists and is a good age. He's also very good with running with the ball and taking players on, and he goes some way to replacing that sort of attribute that Illiman gave to us. And just talking about the transfer generally, I wouldn't say there's any major risks of this not working out. I mean, sure, it's still a big money signing, but one of the clauses of the transfer is that if we get relegated this season, then Villa have to buy him back from us for the same price that we bought him for, plus potential sort of extras on top of that. So unlike the Brewster deal, which sort of damaged us financially and we didn't make a signing for 3 windows afterwards, this one is sort of less likely to hamper us in the same way. And then talking about the weaknesses and the negatives of this transfer, he's not good at penalties. Well, he's had one and he's missed it, which means that technically he's got a 0% completion rate, which isn't really that important because I don't think he could take penalties for us. Also, that's a very small sample size to go off. But still, I suppose that is worth mentioning. Another one is ball control is one of his weaknesses in his game. But obviously, he's still young, so he can develop and get better. Also, ground duels. Just sort of generally defensively, he doesn't add a lot to the team. So if you look at players like Illiman last season, who defensively added a whole bunch to us, Archer doesn't offer the same. And then another weakness is that he's in the bottom 1% for aerials won. But if you consider that we've got McBurney, who wins pretty much everything in the air, I don't think Archer being poor at headers is going to be that detrimental to how we play. And then, just generally, I think £80 million is probably a bit too much for a player who isn't massively experienced at Premier League level. But then again, he's still young and he can develop, and I'm sure he'll come good for us. And now to move on to where he's going to fit into our current team. So right now, if everyone in the squad is fit, I think the team's going to look something like this. Obviously, McBurney will be playing up front as a target man, backing into opposition defenders, trying to get the ball to his feet or to his head, while Archer's going to be looking to get in behind and either be getting on the end of long balls coming from deep or layoffs from McBurney. Somewhat similar to how McBurney and Illiman played last season when they played as a front two together. And then if we get any more signings, this is what I think the team will look like. So I think on top of Archer, current reports look like we're going to get either one of McAtee or Palestri. So then I think Hamer will be moving into more of a deeper midfield role. The new signing will be playing more of an advanced creative midfielder. But either way, I think both these squads look pretty solid. Just to give this transfer a ranking, then in my opinion, I think this is a really good transfer for us. It's exactly the sort of player that we needed into the squad. I mean, nothing against Ozula or Traore, but I think we need to bolster that attack a little bit. I mean, looking at them potential lineups there, I think we can definitely start to pick up a lot of points in the Premier League and stay in the Premier League if we can start going into games with those players lining up. I think this is just a great way for us to spend some of that Illiman money, and it's just another great bit of business on top of what we've already done this summer. I think just generally the business has been left quite late. Obviously, we've left it until 2-3 games into the season to get key players, but that's just the way we have to do it, and that's the way we've done it for the past few windows now, where you look at Gibbs White, didn't come in until right at the end, and then Doyle and McAtee last season didn't come in until right at the end of the window. But yeah, rather have these players in at pre-season, but it is what it is, and hopefully we can see Archer start against Manchester City this Sunday. But that's about all I've got to say on this transfer. Thanks for watching.